to stretch, isn't it?
He needed to stretch and take that. If it's got behind him,
that would go gadget arms.
Oh, great kick out towards centre wing. Not the perfect bounce, though. Been very good, Fraser. Simons. Carousella. Tate takes him out towards the boundary line.
Got to go at the body.
Carousella gets his kick away. Lloyd in front.
Had to commit himself to the tackle, have an intent to tackle. All of a sudden, Carousella would have to hurry that kick, but he had time to assess and have a look and see where Lloyd, Alessio or Lucas were, and just kicked a well-weighted kick to lead it into space for Lloyd to run into. Times like that, you have to really go at the body and make them hurry in their decision-making.
And Wellman looks as though he might be going up to the rooms. I'm just walking the boundary line at the moment. So in that situation, the tackler has the advantage because the bloke with the ball is on the line, so he can't take a step back.
Exactly. Just a technique thing. Just go at the body with the player with the ball and get him across the boundary line.
Lloyd off the left. Missed it. Brings up a minor score. Still just a breath of a chance for Collingwood with just under 11 minutes remaining.
Sean Wellman walking around the boundary. Glenn Freeborn brings the ball back in, straight down the centre of the ground. Eastor punches it back forward. Patterson was going nowhere. McCurry's tackle pulled it up very, very smartly. And there's a little bit going on off the ball there. Umpire Vince Cercia. A word to Patterson. McCurry, he's asking the questions. He was the one that went to ground. But you're not going to con the bank officer, Vince Cercio. Blumfield, McCurry, he'll let his boot do the talking here. In towards the forward pocket, Alessio waits, Lucas comes again. Magpies get back, Michael Gardner on the left foot, out towards the outer side. Heath Scotland gathers the ball, has a look downfield. His kick doesn't really get the target he wanted because Simons is able to run it down. He's going to bring it back just as quick as it went out. Freeborn can't get there. Rioli's in the right spot.
Heath Scotland did all the right things. He beautiful one-handed stuff to actually trap the ball, clean hands. Just his execution by foot in his left side wasn't there to find two Collingwood players that were free. All of a sudden, because of a turnover, Simons got onto that loose ball, found Rioli, who was free 30 metres from goal.
Dean Rioli, 20-year-old. One of the youngsters in the Bomber lineup. Off 2 steps, kicks, and that more often than not will only give you a behind.
Anthony Rocker's now gone to full forward. Gavin Krasiska has gone back to pick up Matthew Lloyd, obviously trying to force Essendon's hand in getting Dustin Fletcher maybe back, knowing that Wellman's off the ground, but Barnard is the player. Looks like it's pushing back onto Anthony Rocker. Dustin Fletcher is staying at centre-half back on Gavin Brown.
Freeborn's last kick-off went straight down the centre of the ground, the direct way home. He hasn't got that option at the moment. All the targets that were offered were short. He used King, takes it on the second run, now towards Richardson. It's spoiled away by Eastor. Carousel, it's been intercepted by Krasiska. Here's the Pies' chance, goes to half forward. Doesn't carry to the target. Solomon does well, meeting the ball, keeping it in front of him. Some support now. King, the flyweight, barges through the contest. He's given it to Williams. Williams has kicked 4 this afternoon. He needs a 5th. He's got a 5th. Well done, Paul Williams.
Williams, a brilliant goal. He's kicked 5 for the game. It's a 4-goal game at the moment. 9 minutes remaining. Eastor wins in the middle. That play back in near midfield by King. Phenomenal the way he went through. Oh, solid bump. And Essendon under a bit of pressure here. You couldn't believe it after the first 20 minutes of this game. And they've turned the ball over. It comes to Fuller. Fuller lines up and goals. Bit of a fight on behind play.
Yeah, it certainly was on. Just to see if anything happens out of that, but great stuff there by Collingwood. They're still in this contest. There's no doubt about that. Interesting to see whether there could have been a free kick awarded to an Essendon player who was held for a long time in that tackle. I think it was Simons, but these boys are certainly fired up, and rightfully so. With 9 minutes of the game remaining, they're a chance.
Collingwood coming back, 3 goals in the last quarter. Kevin Sheedy concerned about last week's game over in Perth. It was played in searing heat. Can the Bombers keep it up? The Magpies are working at them. Mercury, busy all day. Disposal number 29. That's a bad one. He's given it over to Heath Scotland on the burst. Outside 50. Goes long. He's missed it. Essendon starting to look just a touch untidy.
Going back into bad habits, I think it's fair to say, Terry, when the pressure's on, more often than not, I think it's been a perception of the football world. They do go short, therefore making a lot of turnovers in midfield.
After the first 3 goals of the game, 17 points has been the closest margin between the two sides. This is the 3rd time we've been at that difference. The Pies have to make an impression on it.
Burns easily got the distance from a similar spot earlier in this quarter. He should take it upon himself and kick a real captain's leader's goal.
He tossed the coin at the start of the game. Skipper Nathan Buckley in the grandstand. Back for his first game from suspension. 55 metres out. He's unloaded. The Pies have got a bomb.
With its powerful 3-litre V6 engine and easy select 4-wheel drive system, the Mitsubishi Challenger is perfect for the wide open spaces.
And thanks to its power steering, tight parking spaces,
Alloy wheels,
dual airbags,
power windows,
air conditioning, and from $38,990, it's the best value medium-sized V6 all-terrain vehicle
by a country mile.
Mitsubishi Challenger.
The best of both worlds.
The bounce in the middle, and Eastall wins it for Essendon, but it doesn't go too far. Collingwood have it now. Chris Siska picks out Watson. Watson goes long to the forward line. Anthony Rocker didn't take the mark. He's buried. The umpire will ball it up. The Essendon player said they had him. Why wasn't he holding it? And I'm not sure what Anthony's signal is.
He did all the right things there, Anthony Rocker. Placed his body perfectly, just dropped the mark.
It was a great opportunity. In the forward pocket and the ball out of bounds.
I reckon Paul Barno would have been happy with that outcome too, because he certainly had hold of Rocker's jumper in the marking contest.
I think it also shows over the last 5 minutes the importance of Wellman being off the ground.
Yep.
He just gives them that form. Like you spoke about Fletcher being the cornerstone, but Wellman always also is important.
Here's a snap for goal, and it's punched away from Brown by Fletcher and through for a minor score.
Burns
10 points the difference.
Tough ball in there. He's in amongst it again.
And Mick Sean Wellman's about to come back on the ground too.
And Burns has got to be pretty fresh too. I mean, he's had the 2 weeks off with the suspension. Not that he wanted that, but he's got some fresh legs in him.
Here comes Wellman, All-Australian centre-half back.
More importantly, I think Wheel's a strong mind.
Yep, can't beat it.
Fletcher kicks in. The crowd starting to rise. Maybe Collingwood can snatch their first win of the season.
Here they come, the Bombers though. Johnson drives it half forward. Lloyd. Well done, Preston Giacomo. The Magpies won't be denied here. Jamie Tate playing along in front of him. Will need to keep it in play because time also is of essence here. Heath Scotland gathers the ball with poise and balance into the forward line. Great kick. Anthony Rocker, 40 metres out. Pretty much hard up against the boundary line.
Yeah, they're under siege, Essendon. You sort of sense the panic up here, Wheels. But this is an important kick. Anthony Rocker, he set the tone early in the game. He was outstanding across half-back and even in the last line of defence in the early stages of this contest. He was one player that really survived under the siege of the Bombers in that first quarter.
It's been the best performance from the Collingwood forward line this year. They've kicked 15 goals. 14 was their best last week. Most important. Bomber supporters hanging over the fence. It all rests with Anthony Rocker. He's poked at it. He's tried to nurse it. He's missed it. Danny Frawley, James Hurd, Kevin Sheedy, Dustin Fletcher.
Still time left for the Pies. At quarter time, Essendon led by 38 points. They were 7-3 to 1-1, and it looked like they might win by 100. Fletcher's kick in. Oh, Alessio couldn't spoil. Richardson marks.
Should be some loose players free.
He goes long. Rocker is there, camped underneath it. Can't bring it down. Comes to Burns. Offline and a behind.
I like Scotland's awareness.
I was just about to say exactly the same thing, Mick. He was right there. He knew what was going on around him, wasn't he?
Yeah, cool head. Good young player. Only seen him a couple of times, but he impresses me certainly. Just having the awareness of what's going on around him. He knew he had to release the ball by hand to Burns and all of a sudden become a blocker, but that's terrific.
So the crowd today, Mick, 73,118. Not quite the 80s that we've had every time there's been an Anzac Day clash between these two, including 95 when there was a 94,000 crowd. Today, 73,000. And if the Collingwood faithful haven't deserted, they might just be rewarded yet in the last 5 minutes.
Denham trying to get it out. Magpies all around him. They've got the numbers. King back to Tape. Tape turns it back to Magpies' way. It's hard up in the pocket. Jackatine does well to attack the ball. Moorcroft up to the task.
Free kick to Jackatine. Over the shoulder was Dean.
He attacked the footy. Been rewarded with that. Very good debut game. Disposal number 10 towards Rocker. Anthony reaches. He's marked it. 8 points the difference.
And a game like this can certainly make a player come of age. There's no doubt Rocker has stood up today. Credit to his hard work rate. There's the head-eye tackle. Good kick, centering kick by Jackatine. Rocker had his eyes firmly entrenched on that ball in flight. There's no way known he was going to miss that mark.
This is a traditional game, Essendon versus Collingwood, but more importantly, it's Collingwood 16th taking on Essendon, who are third on the ladder. There is no easy game in this competition. Anthony Rocker. Keep the head up, boy. There's still time.
That's what pressure's all about, isn't it, Wheels? Getting the opportunity to kick those goals. You must kick them. Anthony, you've been terrific today. There's no doubt about that. And what a challenge this has been from Collingwood. Accepting it, but more importantly, relishing in the challenge and really stood up. Been a terrific effort all round by all players concerned.
Anthony Rocker switched forward in the last quarter. He's kicked 2 behinds. Goaler so far. Brother Sav is in the dressing room with back spasms. Belted back by Richardson. Jackatine up high. At the back, Essendon have it. Swept out to Simons, who was punched by a teammate in the first quarter. Solomon out of defence. Up towards midfield. Oh, good mark, Blumfield.
Yeah, good mark. Pressure mark. Good work. Tape also had to run against the flight.
Here's Wellman back after landing on the flat of his back and being winded earlier this quarter. Measures the pass off well to Lucas. At the 15-minute mark of this last quarter, Essendon led by 30 points. Now they lead by just 7. And the ball's out of play just outside the 50.
Yeah, good defence by Scotland. He could have easily gave a free kick away to Caracella. It showed good poise beyond his years and experience to keep his hands free and watch the ball and spoil the ball across the boundary line.
And young Gardner ran in circles, ran the wrong way. Grabbed by Lloyd. A centering ball out in front of goal. Berbikoff is there, outnumbered. Dropped by Krasiska. He goes for the boundary line. Alessio's there, but the ball gets end on end and out of bounds.
Gee, wasn't that a costly one? If Gavin Krasiska had been able to take the mark, he's been able to go back and straighten up the play under the pressure, having dropped it, had no other option than to go wide. The Pies need to work it away. 27 minutes gone in this last quarter. They trail by 7. Freeborn. Another boundary throw in. They've got themselves back to Pies. Their road continues. The Kangaroos next week at the MCG in Brisbane, and then Freo to follow. But this form today has been a fillip. Whether they win it or lose it, they've got something going again in Pieland. Essendon, you sense now, just looking to run down some time. They've got the ball on the outer wing at the MCG in front of a capacity crowd. There is tension everywhere, whether you're a supporter, a player or a coach. Alessio, Richardson does the pushing and shoving. They can't get it out. Williams is at the bottom of it. Appealing is Denham. The umpire's going to bounce.
What a difference it might have made if Anthony Rocker had kicked that goal, and the margin had been a couple of points.
And that's where they've lacked the pies. Coming into the game, they hadn't had a player who's kicked more than 2 goals in a game. Williams has bobbed there today. We'll see him fighting at the bottom of the pack. He's kicked 5, but still there's only been 2s other than that. Patterson with 2, Scotty Burns with 2, Gavin Brown with 2. They just needed someone else to assist down in that forward line.
Ball up centre wing, comes to Denham, inside the 50. Lucas, Gardner the spoil. Lucas a fumble. He comes back for a second go at it. He can seal it. Scott Lucas misses to the left. So still the Pies in with a chance. But time running out. Less than 2 minutes remaining. Lucas has kicked 3 goals, 3 today. Matthew Lloyd has kicked 6 goals, 4. The scene of where he kicked 13 2 weeks ago against the Swans. Collingwood coming straight up the ground. Krasiska behind centre halfback. Still down the corridor. Michael Gardner, the youngster, to centre half forward. Nobody for the mark for Collingwood. Great desperation. Fuller. And a ball up.
Yeah, and that was the best route towards goal. They did it well, Collingwood. Freeborn kicking into the lead of Krasiska, who in turn went central straight up the ground. That's the best way to play in tight situations.
Fuller should be a chance here. He's underneath it. Fletcher takes it. The quick kick on out wide. Watson's got to get on his bike. He can't catch it. They needed to be able to keep that one in and turn it back.
This is where they've got to get most of their players away from this stoppage so someone can get their hands on the ball with a bit of space to work in.
Don't want another pack. Don't want to bounce. Bombers.
Good work, Burns.
Burns, get it out, get it out. He can't. And the umpire pulls it up just as the ball sneaks free of the contest.
It's just so important in these stoppages to keep the ball alive. You gain possession, you look like fumbling it, just get the ball forward by foot or hand.
Bounced right on the 50-metre line. Free ball. Can't be taken. Here's a chance. Patterson, Jackatine under pressure, tosses it up. Bombers seemingly have it covered. They have with Berbikov.
I'll just chip it around now. This is where it's important for Collingwood to react and man up.
Moorcroft has run hard to get out wide. Holding it up. Essendon kicked the first 5 goals of the game, and at quarter time it kicked 7 goals to 1. And it was how far? Collingwood have worked their way back into it. Scotty Lucas. They will just buy these remaining seconds, and they've done it. Tony Shaw, Danny Frawley, Neil Baum. So near, yet so far. Still the Magpies have to break their duck.
The thing about it, Terry, I think also, not very rarely do you like going off the arena when there's 73,000 people in a losing mentality. But I think a lot of positives can come out of this game from Collingwood's point of view. No doubt Tony Shaw during the week with Danny Frawley and David Wheaton will address those areas. These players, since quarter time, really gave their all. Their body and soul was certainly given towards the actual cause. Down to you, Ozzy.
Well, Matty, another 6 goals. Fantastic effort for you.
Yeah, it's a good day for myself, but a bit of a scare there in the last quarter. Collingwood on Anzac Day, they never give us an easy game, and we'll just scrap to get the points.
Was much said about the Anzac Day game prior to the game?
Oh, yeah, we haven't won one. We're pretty embarrassed about that, and we really wanted to win this one and go 4-1, third on the ladder, so we're in a good spot at the moment.
Lloyd Lucas, 2-prong attack. It's going very well at the moment.
Yeah, we're something we've wanted for a long time. We've been playing reserves together for a couple of years, and now we're playing here, and we want to form a good combination for the next 10 years.
I know you're a fairly shy kid, but from what I saw today, you'd have to be one of the best players in the league. Well done, mate, and thanks for your time.
Thanks, Ozzy. Appreciate it. Thanks, mate.
Well, Anthony Rocker must be ruining his shot for goal in the last quarter. Kevin Sheedy finally wins on Anzac Day. Final scores an 8-point margin, 15-18 to 15-10.
This match in the 1999 AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by AAMI and Cadbury.
Good afternoon. Shortly we'll take you to Footy Park to see the Crows in Sydney, and at half-time in that game on 7 Nightly News, a dangerous rescue of an injured rock climber who's fallen down a cliff at Blewett Springs south of the city. Also in the news at 5:35, the grim diary of one of the Columbine High killers reveals the shootout plan. And how did Australia celebrate Anzac Day? We'll see you at half-time.
Hi, Kath. How are you? What? Really? Oh, now you have to tell me what happened. And then he said, what?
Want a whole night's entertainment for $3? With Telstra STD, you'll pay no more than $3 a call to anywhere in Australia between 7 p.m. and midnight, Monday to Friday, all year round.
Hang on, Kath. Someone's at the door.
Australia's most amazing spectacles? I'd like to see that.
Men who score every few minutes? I'd like to see that.
So you're supposed to sprint, bouncing a ball, shaped like this. How do you do that?
Australia launching men into space every few minutes. I'd like to see that. What was that?
Triple M's best ever driving songs. 2 CDs turbocharged with over 2 hours of great rock. The best ever driving songs from Triple M. Drop the clutch and burn rubber into your favourite music store now.
We run Colorific. We're Australia's #1 craft toy company.
I'm doing a Phantom look for the children.
We also make face paints. How do we know what works? We understand our consumer.
Look at this, Poppy.
One day, every child in the world will be playing with one of our toys. At the bank, we look after their everyday stuff, such as payroll, leasing, and all their finance, so they can do what they do best. So what's it called? Watch me grow. Hello, Starlight. How are you? Oh, I'm good. Are you having fun, Starlight? Oh, it's a wonderful thing.